Hello everyone, my name is Sunny Dove and welcome back to my Let's Play Fallout 4 Survival Mode. We have established a pretty nice little HQ for our friends the Minutemen, and I'm looking the part, aren't I? I actually look like I might be the General. A befitting title of someone wearing a coat like this. We had a little bit of collateral damage along the way, if you will.
I fear so
Killing the
much
Mirelurk Queen along with all the Mirelurks was a bit disastrous, to be honest, but, you know, sacrifices have to be made. We've got a nice settlement as a result. And we did old guns, we killed Sarge, got access to the armory, we got ourselves a nice new sniper rifle type weapon in the last minute. I'll be playing with this here very soon. Modded it out fully. And I think we are good to go. I'm not actually going to keep wearing the general outfit. It's a little too heavy for what it gives. 2 pounds for a 1 charisma hat. I already have the militia hat, which is a quarter of the weight and gives the same stat. General uniform gives 1 charisma as well, but I already have Agatha's dress for 3 charisma. Yeah.
9 a.m. here.
And it weighs 5 pounds. It does have decent stats. 45 damage resist and 80 energy resist isn't anything to scoff at. But it's also
Radio freedom.
not really my style.
All quiet, which is how we like it. Stay safe out there, people.
So I think we're done here. Now we can finally get back to what I was trying to do in the first place. Head back to Sturgis in Sanctuary Hills. And we will get to work on that signal interceptor that I've been trying to build for a little while now.
Preston thought you might be able to figure out these plans for me.
Sure thing. Let's see what you've got.
Do you think you can build this?
Wow, what a mess. Looks like, encrypted RF transmissions. Okay, so that gets routed through... What the hell? Teleportation. This is some pretty crazy shit. You sure it's for real?
I got this from someone who should know what he's talking about. Can you build it or not? Either it is, or we end up building one hell of a paperweight. I wouldn't be wasting your time if I didn't think it was real. It's real. I got it from an ex-Institute scientist.
It's real. I got it from an ex-Institute scientist.
Seriously? I didn't know you could be an ex-Institute anything and still be breathing. Anyway, the eggheads never think about the nuts and bolts of actually making something work. But, looks like it's all here. Yeah, I'm gonna need some time to study this thing. The handwriting's pretty hard to make out. But, you can get started on what he calls a stabilized reflector platform. It'll need some pretty high-grade metals, but it's basically not that different than the lining of a jet engine or something like that.
Can you give me a list of what I'll need to build this platform?
Yeah, sure. Here's a list of what you'll need for the first piece. I'm pretty sure we've got all that at Sanctuary, if you want to build it there. While you're working on that, I'll get busy figuring out how to actually build the rest of this thing. Keep in mind, I can already see this is going to take a crazy amount of juice. Like if you had a spare nuclear reactor handy, we could probably use it. And it's going to be big. So find a nice open building site with lots of power available.
Okay, big open power. Big open spot, lots of power. Don't have a spare nuclear reactor, but I can build another one. And if you all are wondering, I haven't forgot about this guy. The vault-tec rep has been here in Sanctuary. I just haven't felt like building here at Sanctuary, so I haven't made him a shop. I know he's a level 4 general store trader, but you know, when I get the hankering to do some settlement building here at Sanctuary Hills, I'll probably set him up shop here.
Hey, now that you're back here in Sanctuary, how would you like a job?
A job? For me? Really?
Yeah, I think your sales experience can be a great asset.
You do? Well, that's great. I won't let you down.
Okay, so I guess if you chat with vault-tec rep, all it does is ask you if you want to move him to a different location for work. But I want him to work here, so let's leave him here, walking into the decontamination arch. And we got to figure out where we're building this teleporter machine. A nice open space. I don't really like the idea of scrapping one of these houses, but I might have to just to open up space. See, I'm using this ruinous house as part of my perimeter. So it looks like the only place to build it is this plot here. Do it on this foundation, or we could do it... Yeah, let's just do it here. Alright. So I guess it's probably under special, maybe? Yes. Stabilized reflector platform. This looks important. Let's stick it in the middle. Takes 10 aluminum, 3 circuitry, and 5 steel. Okay, that's not going to bother me. It's not really in the middle. That's better. Alright, Sturgis, get back here. I got to chat with you. I think I still have Sturgis assigned to defense, so... Oh, hey, there's that junkyard dog that we bought for Sanctuary, like, ages ago.
Sturgis.
How's it going? Did you find a good spot to build your signal interceptor?
Yeah. Ready to build the rest of it.
Good. I think I got a handle on this crazy contraption. At least as much as I can tell. Until we actually try to build it, here's a list of 3 things that may be harder to find. I think I'll be able to pull together everything else we're gonna need. I'll meet you over at the building site and see if we can actually make this thing work.
Okay, we need a beam emitter relay dish console. It says search telecom sites for a sensor module. That's optional. I mean, chances are I've got the components to build everything under the sun that we need for this thing. I've only ever been picking up everything up to this point. Well, not everything, but you guys know what I mean. I've been picking up lots of shite. I actually hate scrapping these ruined homes. Makes me sad. Alright, so we need a console for this thing. Plop a console down over here. Want it lined up. Not a bad job. Now we got our console. We need a molecular beam emitter. And it snaps right onto this. Cool. Now we just need a relay dish. Stick it on top, or does it just have to... Plop it down there. How much power do we need? 5, 20, 2. So we need 27 power. Ramen, get out of the way. Moving your feet, trough. You can go over here. Alright, now we just need a whole lot of power. Which pretty much means fusion generator. Alright, connect that up. Actually, that kind of clips. Maybe we won't do that. Don't really like how that clips, but whatever. I'll deal with it. I think it works. It looks better like that.
Sturgis.
Everything looks good on my end. You ready to see if this thing actually works?
Shouldn't we test it first?
I wish we could, but we've only got the one frequency code. There's no way to test it without actually jacking into the Institute signal. And as soon as we do that, we've used our one and only chance. As soon as the Institute figures out what we did, and I gotta believe those brainiacs won't be caught napping twice, that code we've got is useless.
Let's do this.
You sure? Okay. Your part is simple. Just step onto the platform. I'll start scanning for an Institute signal to lock onto. Then, I fire her up and we see what happens. Getting cold feet? I don't blame you. Okay, hold real still. I don't want any corruption of the molecular beam. Oh yeah, by the way, I figured this was a golden opportunity to find out as much as we can about the Institute and what they're up to. Yeah, this holotape's all set with a program that will scan their network and download anything it finds. Uh-oh. Yeah, we better hurry. And don't worry about that tubing wiggling around. It's, just there for decoration. Okay. Scanning for the Institute signal. Tracking RF. And... got it! Hold on to your butt!
That's about all I have to hold on to. I think it worked. I've lost McCready and Dogmeat, though. So this is the Institute. My immediate reaction is to begin looting. Imagine that.
Hello.
Hello?
I wondered if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful. I'm known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance. I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please, step into the elevator.
Yeah, one sec. Let me just hack your terminals. View access log, validation, blah, 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 blah. Signal rerouted. Load holotape? Where's that holotape that Sturgis gave me? There we go. Network scanner. Scan complete. Glad it took me in my power armor. Feel much safer in the Institute in a full set of XL1. T21 stabilize. Temperature 31, 29, 27, 25 degrees Celsius. Moist, light, fan. So they regulate all this stuff, okay? They've got some very high-tech air conditioning down here. Apparently. What? Oh, the 2 different cabinets stacked on top of each other. I was like, what in the world? Institute lab coat. That door is inaccessible. Have a button. I guess that probably summons the elevator. Well, let's go meet Father. Elevator access denied. Okay. Thought he said step onto the elevator. Okay, there we go.
I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression. Welcome to the Institute. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here for your son.
Indeed, indeed I am. I'm here for Sean. I'm surprised I'm not being met by hostile welcome party. But instead a curiously welcoming voice. That actually him?
Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
Sean? Is that really you?
Who are you?
Sean, it's me. I'm your mom.
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
Sean, Daddy's gone, but I'm here. Mommy's here now.
What's going on? Father? Father!
Sean, open the door.
I don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here, help me!
Who is Father? Where is he?
Father? Father, help me! She's trying to take me! Father? Father, help me!
Sean.
S923, recall code Cirrus. Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
He's fucking with me. He made a synth child.
Give me Sean. The real Sean. Right now!
I know. I know. You've gone to such lengths to find him.
I'll make this very simple. Where's my son? God, we're all missing all the teacups. All we're missing are the teacups and the white rabbit. Things are a little too neat and tidy, orderly, apple white aesthetic to be Alice in Wonderland.
Just help me understand what's going on here.
I promised answers, and answers you shall have. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been... It's good to finally meet you. After all this time. It's me. I am Sean. I am your son.
Dun dun dun. Plot twist.
How is that even possible?
I know this is a lot to take in. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality, and here I am. Raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
But why? Why take a child? Why take you?
Ah, now that's the question, isn't it? Why me? At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being. Walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
Human synths? Really?
Human-like synths. A great distinction. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me, after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
So I'm like the grandpa. I'm the grandpa synth guy. Great. I mean, not grandpa. Sorry, in character, grandmother. I'm the grandmother synth woman. Yeah. Okay. Now, this is interesting This is interesting. I think it reveals, not explicitly, but it reveals why they called the main character, Sole Survivor, the backup. Because you were the backup pure DNA that could have been used to create the synth organics. And you've been down here the whole time, 60 years, so much time wasted. I don't believe you. There's no way any of this is true. I think he's being honest. This seems genuine. I believe him.
Sean. It's really you.
It really is. I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
You knew the man was a psychopath, but you used him anyway?
Would you have preferred that I turned him loose on the Commonwealth? At least keeping him on a short leash kept the collateral damage to a minimum. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
So I think he's saying that he or someone else from the Institute actually released us from the cryostasis. It was Father's intent all along to let us out, to kill Kellogg, and hopefully find the Institute.
Your father. He never got to see you grow up.
Yes. What happened to him was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems what happened to him was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
So, you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. We'll need to ask quite a few questions and do some investigating to find out if you're really all about the common good. Humanity's best hope. It's interesting. He's pretty callous. He doesn't seem particularly emotional about having lost his father, but ultimately his decision-making led to Kellogg's death at my hand, so... it kind of makes sense. He never knew his dad, his baby. Couldn't have that much of an emotional connection.
But, director? Why you?
I was the most qualified for the position. Obviously. I've lived my life within these walls, dedicated to science like every other member of the Institute. My hard work has paid off. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. I know there's more for us to discuss. But The Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
You want me to stay here in the Institute?
Yes, that is what I propose. Is it so hard to imagine? The Institute can provide a better life than anything above ground. You've been in the Commonwealth. You've seen what it's like. I assure you that you are better off with us.
Maybe, but the people above ground better off with you being down here and continuing your research.
How can you say that? How can you be so dismissive of all those people? Everything they've done?
Because it is the simple truth. And I believe you know it too. I simply ask that you give the Institute, me, a chance. A chance to show you what I've been telling you. We really do have humanity's best interest at heart. Will you take that chance?
A chance I will give you.
All right.
Thank you. The Institute is now your home, as much as it is mine. Please take some time, get to know it. Meet the people you'll be working with. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in Facilities, Dr. Ayo in SRB, Dr. Holdren in Bioscience, and finally Dr. Lee in Advanced Systems. They've all been notified of your arrival, of course. Meet them, and then we'll discuss what comes next.
Okay, so we need to meet the division leaders of the Institute. Don't mind me just having a look-see around. Sean's terminal password. Well, our investigation begins. Sean sounds all nicey nice, but we'll find out the real deal. We snoop around a bit. July 16th, 2285. Kellogg's occasional presence continues to unnerve the others. At first I thought they were merely intimidated by his confidence and arrogance, or perhaps even afraid of his general being. Kellogg is, after all, a killer. But as I've continued to witness their reactions, gauge their sidelong glances, I've detected something else, something I probably should have anticipated. Jealousy. Kellogg is a living memorial to a forgotten program. He is an augmented human being, a cyborg, really, and the benefits he has received cannot be denied. But really, the scientists here could not care less about enhanced reflexes or greater combat efficiency. No, the cause of their envy is something more practical, more primal, his enhanced life expectancy. Just how long will Kellogg live if he passes naturally? However unlikely that may be. It's hard to say. He's already more than 100 years old. Wow. Older certainly than any other human in the Commonwealth. His complete physiology has been altered. Perhaps he'll make it to 150, maybe even 200. Let the petty have their petty jealousies. Kellogg is a living testament to the ingenuity and superiority of the Institute, and I take no small pleasure in knowing that must irritate him to no end. Status reports: Bioscience Hydroponics programs functional. FEV lab offline. FEV lab? Gonna have to investigate FEV lab, if there's anything left of it. Robotic synth output nominal. Production materials fully stocked. Advanced systems child synth project under quarterly review. Weapon diagnostics ongoing. Phase 3 behind schedule. SRB Director Zimmer still offline. Above ground operative terminated. Retention programs functional. Director Zimmer. He's the Institute guy that you meet in Fallout 3, trying to find a runaway synth aboard. What is that settlement called? Oh, it's escaping me at the moment. It's the aircraft carrier Rivet City. Pattern recognition algorithms ineffective. Facilities power output maxed. Air-water recycling systems functioning normally. Personal notes. The wait continues. IO can only confirm sightings outside Vault 111 and again in Diamond City sometime later. What that means, I'm not sure. Will we actually meet? Was this all for nothing? No, not nothing. I will have learned valuable things about myself, my past, either way. I cannot afford to let emotion get in the way. I must simply observe and record. A true scientist. I'm told Kellogg has gone offline. Strangely, I find myself thinking of Dr. Walker. He had such high hopes for Kellogg, such faith in the implants and what they could mean. I still regret eliminating that project, but I know where it would have led us. Walker was never shy about his goals, and too many others were starting to listen. In the end, I believe it was justified. I was justified. The Institute is about preserving humanity, not some bizarre amalgamation of biology and technology. So, Father discontinued cyborg or cybernetics research because he believed it to be immoral. Director access since shut down. Unauthorized director code require. Oh, whoop. Right. That's. I thought that was a note, like a journal entry. I did not think that was an attempt to shut down synthetics. Probably a good thing that didn't go through. I would be in trouble. Just collecting all kinds of stuff. Why not?
Damn it, Galton. What the hell is going on down there? I have to convene an emergency directorate meeting because of this screw-up. That synth was a prototype. It was absolutely not ready for field testing. The mess it caused in Diamond City threatens decades of work to keep us out of the spotlight. I will be very clear. My legacy as director will not be tarnished by your division's mistakes. I am going to find out exactly who approved any sort of operation above ground, and that person will be held fully accountable.
So I suppose that was the previous director. Julia Thompson.
Hey, pal.
Sometimes Quentin is really mean to me, but my mom says I have to be nice anyway.
You should punch him in the mouth. I have no idea where I'm going in here. I'm hungry too.
Almost done.
There's robotics,
Tighten up this primary drive
bioscience
servo.
that way.
That's the third primary drive breakdown this month. As far as I'm concerned, the phase-out on these older models can't come soon enough.
Oh, I don't know. Most of them have lasted long past their projected lifespans. If you ask me, they were built pretty well.
I can't argue with that. Even so, I'm ready to see the full Gen 3 roll out.
There we go. All set. Unit, you can return to duty.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks again.
Of course.
Hi, Doc.
They weren't kidding. You really are here. Well, all right. I'm Allie Fillmore. You can think of me as the Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much, I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
What makes you ask? I'm a complete stranger to you.
I suppose when I heard your story, well, I felt sorry for you. You've suffered more tragedy than any one person deserves. Your whole world is gone. I'm sorry. I know that was a very personal question. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the facilities division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in a place like this. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water and provides power to the laboratories and quarters. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that mean you're on board?
I'm not on board with anything.
No? And yet here you are, poking around. One might find that suspicious. If you're not planning on staying, I'd recommend keeping your hands to yourself. Wouldn't want to give the impression you're up to something. And consider having another talk with Sean. He really is anxious to have you with us. If there's anything else you'd like to know about the facilities division, I'm happy to discuss it.
Who built this place, originally? Has it been here long?
The construction of the Institute is the work of generations of scientists. The original survivors of the war, our progenitors, took refuge in the basement of the old Commonwealth Institute of Technology. Over time, their sons and daughters dug deeper into the earth and built increasingly sophisticated habitats and laboratories. It's a process that's still going on today. Even now, we're digging out tunnels for new facilities and infrastructure. Just think what this place will look like 100 years from now. I hope I'm there to see it.
Looks like I need to do some work on my body slide mesh for these lab coats. There's like a weird little line thing around their ass. I don't know what that's about. It's kind of bugging me. Okay, so I was unable to fix this weird shadow line issue on the butt of this outfit. I fiddled with it in body slide, but it seems to be a CBBE issue, Caliente's body issue, or it's maybe just a vanilla issue. I'm not really sure, but it's a minor annoyance either way.
Hi.
Greetings. As the Institute's requisition vendor, I can provide supplies for your missions on the surface. How may I assist you today?
What can I requisition?
I have access to a modest selection of arms, armor, and other items approved
Hang on a tick
for
there,
use
buddy.
in field missions.
Let me just put on the old... Oh, we got this Institute lab coat. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, gross. It's got that weird shadow bug like that one lady's.
I'll take a look, sure.
Alright, he has Experiment 18-A. Experiment 18A, 15% faster reload time and 25% greater fire rate for a plasma rifle. Now that is right up my alley. I would like to purchase this. I think that's a significant improvement over my Ghoul Slayer plasma rifle. So let's queue that up for purchase. Institute Jumper to Agility, Institute Division Head Coat. 1 int, 1 perception, weighs 3 pounds. Only 81 caps. I mean, I'm not the leader of a division in the Institute, but I kind of want it. Mark II synth chest piece, Mark II synth helmet, Mark III synth chest piece, Mark III... Okay, those are okay, I guess. Mostly just want his legendary or unique weapon. So we'll purchase 18A experiments, and I don't really think I have anything I want to sell. So I am out 2,300 caps. We'll mod that out to be our new plasma rifle at some point or another. Oh, I want to try on that division head coat. Okay, that one also has the weird shadowy bug thing. Might do some research online, see if I can't fix that later, but for right now we'll just deal with it. Oops, I forgot the leg. There we go. Wait, are you serious? I can just take stuff out of his locker? I'll be taking that stuff. Fusion cores are welcome.
Remember to keep unnecessary power consumption to a minimum. Don't recharge unless your primary levels are below 2%. Also, if you haven't patched your navigation software, do so after this meeting. The last thing we need is more synths bumping into walls. All right, that's all for now. You can resume your duties.
He doesn't have a weird butt shadow line. Yeah, I'm guessing it's a Caliente's issue.
Hi, Doc.
It's a real juggling act, trying to keep all the systems down here operating in the green. This place might look shiny and new, but there's a lot of old technology in these walls. I lose sleep worrying about when the next blackout's gonna hit.
How old are we talking about?
Well, the reactor and a lot of the related systems. You know, cooling, monitoring, power distribution. That's all pre-war tech. Most of the superstructure down here was built later, by the people who survived the war. I guess each generation's been tinkering with the place, adding labs, making upgrades, and so on. There's some stuff I need to check on. See you around, yeah?
See you around. So I think that's the center of the place. We need to speak with each leader of the major sectors of the Institute.
It was probably just a glitch in the nervous system. The fine motor control software could use an update.
If it were just a limb twitching, perhaps. But her eyes were moving as well. Involuntary twitching and rapid eye movements while sleeping can only mean one thing, Max. You just don't want to admit to yourself what it means.
If you're about to launch into one of your speeches about artificial sentience...
So who's in charge of robotics here?
Don't bother.
Meet the division leaders.
I've heard enough of them by now. Perhaps I can write them down from memory.
Apparently there's not a division leader in here. Synth retention. Eight missiles fit in this little bitty ammo box. Somehow I don't believe that. Seems a little bit ridiculous even by Fallout standards. Maintenance Terminal 6. This looks like somewhere we're not supposed to go, which makes me want to go there.